Hello everyone. Welcome back to our English Learning Podcast. I'm Ethan, and today we have a very special episode. We'll be talking about a very common topic, one that everyone can relate to, talking about yourself. And joining me today is my wonderful guest, Olivia. Hi Olivia, how are you today?
Hi, Ethan. I'm so happy to be here. I'm doing really well, thank you. I'm excited to talk with you and share some ideas about how to introduce ourselves and talk about who we are. I think it's a very important skill for learning English and for everyday life.
Absolutely. Talking about yourself may seem easy, but doing it in English can sometimes be tricky. Today, we will share simple ways to do it, give examples, and make it natural. Let's start with the basics. Olivia, can you tell our listeners why it's important to be able to talk about yourself?
Of course, Ethan. I think it's important because when you meet new people, they want to know who you are. Talking about yourself helps you make friends, practice English, and feel confident. It also helps you in school, work, or even when traveling. Simple things like your name, where you live, and what you like to do are a great start.
That's very true. Let's start with something easy, your name and where you are from. For example, I can say, "Hi, my name is Ethan, and I'm from New York." It's short, simple, and clear. Olivia, can you give an example for yourself?
Sure. I usually say, "Hello, my name is Olivia, and I'm from Los Angeles." You can also add a little more, like your age or a small detail about your city. For example, I live in Los Angeles, and I love the sunny weather here. Adding a small detail makes it more interesting for the listener.
Exactly. Adding a small detail is important because it gives the other person something to respond to. After introducing your name and city, you can talk about your work or studies. For instance, I can say, "I work as a teacher, and I really enjoy helping students learn English every day." Olivia, what about your work or studies?
I usually say, "I'm a graphic designer, and I love creating art for websites and apps." You can also explain a little about your daily work, like, "I usually work on new designs in the morning, and in the afternoon I meet clients to show them my ideas." This gives people a clear picture of your day and makes the conversation more natural.
Great example, Olivia. Another thing we can talk about is hobbies. Hobbies are fun to share and can create a connection with others. I can say, "In my free time, I enjoy reading books and playing basketball with my friends." Simple sentences like this help listeners understand you better. What hobbies do you have, Olivia?
I love painting and going for long walks in the park. I usually say, "In my free time, I like painting and walking with my dog in the park." Sometimes I also watch movies with my family. It's nice to talk about hobbies because people may have the same interests, and it can lead to more conversation.
That's a good point. Sharing hobbies makes the conversation more interesting. You can also talk about your favorite things, like food, music, or movies. For example, I can say, "My favorite food is pizza, and I really like listening to jazz music in the evening." Olivia, what's your favorite thing to share with others?
I usually tell people about my favorite food and music too. I can say, "My favorite food is sushi, and I enjoy listening to pop music while I work." Sometimes I also like singing along to my favorite songs. It's a fun way to relax and enjoy life. These small details help your English sound more natural.
Yes, sharing small details about your life is key. Another important part is talking about your family. You can say something simple like, "I have a small family. I live with my parents and my younger brother. We like spending time together on weekends." Olivia, what about your family?
I can say, I have a big family. I live with my parents, my sister, and my grandmother. On weekends, we often cook together and go for walks. Family is very important to me, and I like sharing small stories about them when I meet new people. Talking about family makes your conversation friendly and warm.
Definitely. You can also add something about your daily routine. For example, I can say, every morning I wake up at 7, have breakfast, and go for a short walk. Then I start my work or lessons for the day. In the evening, I like reading or watching TV to relax. Olivia, can you share your daily routine?
Sure. I usually say, I wake up at 6 in the morning and make coffee. I spend the morning working on my designs, and in the afternoon I exercise or meet friends. In the evening, I enjoy cooking dinner and sometimes watching a good movie. A simple daily routine helps others understand your life better.
That's very clear, Olivia. Another tip is to talk about your dreams or goals. For example, I can say, in the future, I want to travel around the world and learn about different cultures. I also want to improve my English and meet new people. It gives a positive feeling to the conversation. What about you?
I love sharing my goals too. I can say, I want to travel to Europe next year and learn about new art styles. I also want to get better at English and meet people from different countries. Talking about goals makes conversations interesting and gives a positive feeling to others.
Exactly. And finally, it's nice to end your introduction with something positive, like saying you are happy to meet the other person. For example, it's great to meet you, and I hope we can talk more soon. Olivia, do you have an ending you like?
Yes. I usually say, I'm happy to meet you. It was nice talking about myself, and I hope we can continue our conversation later. Thank you for listening. Ending positively leaves a good impression and makes English sound friendly and natural.
Well, that was a complete guide for talking about yourself. We covered name, city, work, hobbies, favorites, family, daily routine, and goals. And we also showed how to make it positive and friendly. Thank you so much, Olivia, for sharing these examples with us today.
Thank you, Ethan. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope our listeners feel more confident now about introducing themselves and talking about their lives in English. It's simple if you practice step by step and keep it friendly.
Yes, practice is the key. And to all our listeners, remember to start small, speak clearly, and share small details about yourself. Soon, you will feel confident talking in English. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you again in our next episode.
Thank you everyone for listening. Keep practicing, and remember, talking about yourself is a great way to improve your English and make new friends. Have a wonderful day, and see you next time.